broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
And it is me. I'm here with you for another fantastic episode of Heart of Dixie AfterBuzz After Show. As you can see today, I'm rocking it solo. Whitney and Lauren couldn't be here, but that doesn't matter. I just have more time with you, so we're just going to go through this episode. It's season 4, episode 8, 61 Candles. And right off the bat, let me just say, if you have not subscribed to YouTube or you have not checked this out on SoundCloud or iTunes, we want you to go and rectify that mistake right now. Well, not right now. Wait till after you finish the show. Go and subscribe to the network. And then also, in addition to subscribing, if you could rate us. And we're working hard here, so 5 stars would be much appreciated for all the hard work that we do. I'm Tara Johnson. I probably didn't say that before, but I'm saying it now. I'm Tara Johnson, and you can talk to me via Twitter on TJ Wagging Her Tail. So let's get this episode started. We are a month away from where we were last episode. I mean, last episode was so heartfelt, where we had Lemon realizing that she had a little sister and she had to confront her mother. And so last episode was really heavy. And so we move here. It's a month from the last episode, and things have completely changed in Bluebell. It seems as if love is simply in the air. So we'll start off with saying Mazel Tov to Tom and Wanda because they've had their baby, which is fantastic. But I will admit, I'm a little disappointed because I kind of wanted to see Wanda in her delivery. I mean, I had this thought in my mind of, Father of the Bride 2, where Steve Martin was going back and forth between his wife and his daughter. And I know Wanda and Zoe's pregnancy were in different places, but I just had this whole image in my head of maybe Lavon going back and forth between Wanda and Zoe as they're both in delivery, and Lavon going, nah, 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 like he does the entire time. But I guess it didn't play out that way. But we're still happy that Tom and Wanda have had their baby. And Tom, I had no idea he had as many jobs as he did. I mean, he drives the Bluebell, which, thank you very much for your rendition, your version of Uber. I thought it was the cutest thing ever. He also works at the corner store. He works at the library. He works at George's law firm. So the entire town has to get together in order to cover all of Tom's jobs. Again, you gotta love Bluebell. If the mayor will call a town meeting to help one of the residents or family of residents out, he said, times are tough. We know dollars are tight. So we're all going to pitch in so Tom can keep his jobs. And it took an entire town to cover what one man does. Mighty Tom does a lot of things, but everyone had to split up their duties. And it seems as if the duty that Lemon got to do was going to the farm that had flooded and had to help with the alpacas. It is what it is, Lemon. I totally get it and understand. So everyone is running around trying to help Tom and Wanda, and we're oh so happy that they've had the baby. What I want to say is, even though we know Tom and Wanda are happy, let's talk about George and AB and Lemon and Lavon, because George and AB are really happy after a month. I mean, they're doing a lot of dinners, and it seems a lot of breakfasts. I mean, last episode, they went on their first date, had their first kiss, shared some toast, and now they are inseparable, it seems like. And I know I have been a George and AB. I'm not going to say I was against their relationship. Never would I say that. I was just going to say I just didn't know if I believed it. I was saying last episode, after they had their first kiss, I'm giving it a shot. I said I wasn't on the train yet. I was, looking at the schedule. And after this episode, I think they're cute together. But I still say they're almost too cute together. I don't feel the passion and the spark and the fire for the two of them. I think they're sweet. I totally appreciate AB's striptease in George's legal office. I appreciate it. I applaud it. I'm taking notes. I may use it myself in the future, but I still didn't feel the heat. They're very nice and calm and Southern cute. On the other hand, let's talk about Lemon and Lavon. So Lemon wanted this big thing in order to tell Lavon how much she loves him. A month has gone by, girl. Don't lose the man because you're trying to get the moment. Find the dress, find the moment, whatever you need. But Lavon's been waiting patiently now for 1 month. He's a good man. He ain't no saint. So let's just keep it moving. So when when it bubbled up in her and she was in the farm and she could no longer contain it, and she had to tell Lavon how she felt about him and that she loved him and she wanted to be with him in front of everybody covered in alpaca poop, I loved it. You heard it right here first. I am now Team LL. Can you believe it? I can barely believe it myself.
AFTERBUZZ TV exclusive.
That's right. It's an AFTERBUZZ TV exclusive. You heard it here first. I am loving Lemon and Lavon. I could not believe that I'm even saying this, but the reason why I love the two of them is because I feel it. I feel their passion. I feel their love. I understand when they look in each other's eyes. I get it. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're really into each other. On the other hand, I don't get that from George and AB. So that's where I am. Let me know how you feel. Do you feel a spark between George and AB? How about do you feel the passion between Team LL? And let's put it this way. If season 4 is the end of Heart of Dixie and the Bluebell sun is setting, do you see George and AB walking hand in hand in the sunset, or do you see Lavon and Lemon? Let me know what you're thinking, because for me, I think Lavon and Lemon are going for the long haul. I don't know yet about George and AB. Another reason why I'm not sure about George and AB is because I have said it all season long. I feel as if George is going to leave, and I'm still feeling that now even with this episode, because Meatball, if you can believe it, because I can't quite believe it, but Meatball is on the cusp of getting a recording contract, and the A&R person was talking about stadium tours with Meatball and George as his manager right by his side. You can't do that in Bluebell. So it just makes sense to me that even still, George is going to leave, which then lets me believe that I don't know if he and AB are going to last. True enough, AB is studying to be a nurse, and she can do nursing everywhere. I get that. But being an artist manager, I just don't know. George seems to be good at it. He seems to be great at it. When his parents came and he didn't want to tell them what he was doing, AB was like, no, I've never seen you have this much passion and love for this. You cannot be ashamed of this. You got to let your parents know what you're really doing. You're really good. You've taken 4 country bumpkins and turned them into really great artists. That's something to be proud of. That's something he's passionate about. I think staying in Bluebell is going to stifle that. So I stay, and I know I'm a little early for predictions, but my prediction still is George Tucker will be leaving Bluebell. Will he be leaving with Annabeth or without Annabeth? You tell me what you think, and you also let me know whether you feel the heat and passion. I don't feel the heat and passion. So going back to Lavon and Lemon, I'm on their team now. I totally get it. I'll get a t-shirt. I'm totally with it. So as Lemon wakes up after their big announcement, and she and Zoe, that's the next couple I want to talk about. Lemon and Zoe, they have this love-hate relationship. I think they're better frenemies than friends. I don't know if they could just be straight friends like Lemon and AB. I just think this is the game they play with each other, and it played out perfect at Lavon's house the morning after. We don't know the morning after what. We're not quite sure what happened between Lavon and Lemon between the sheets that night after they left the farm. We can all guess, but we both know that Lavon slept late. He never sleeps late, and they both woke up with great smiles on their faces. I'll leave the rest to you. That's all I'm gonna say. But when Lemon came into the kitchen with Lavon and Wade and Zoe, she came in pretty strong. I mean, she wanted to make her presence known. I am Lavon's girlfriend. He is my boyfriend. This is his house. So what I say goes. Hence, Zoe give up that muffin. And Zoe wasn't having it. And I understood more in this episode Zoe's need or or yearning to have family. And she made it pretty clear to Lemon. Lemon was like, I want to negotiate and talk about how many times you can have breakfast with Lavon and how many times I can have dinner with Lavon. And Zoe was very honest when she said, I don't want things to change. At this time right now, I need my family. And Lavon is my best friend and he's my family. I don't want anything to change. I still want to watch Do You Think You Can Dance on Sundays with him. I want to have breakfast with them every single morning. And I don't think Lemon got it at first. And I'll even say, I appreciate Lemon coming to Lavon's house and letting everyone know what's going on and that she's there and her presence will be known and she's not going away anytime soon. But she came on a tad bit strong. Does anyone out there agree with me? She was completely deciding Lavon's schedule without ever consulting Lavon. I kept going to myself, maybe she should have some of these conversations with Lavon as opposed to telling Zoe what is or is not going to happen with Lavon. I mean, he should have a say in how much time he's going to spend with his best friend. True enough. Lemon's going to be the girlfriend. She's going to be there for, I don't know, I'm thinking forever possibly. But I mean, my goodness, she came in strong, maybe a little too strong for me, but that is Lemon. And I wonder if she was talking to anyone else, would she come across as that strong? And I think maybe just because it was Zoe that she wanted to make her presence known. But you gotta give Zoe a little bit of leeway right now. She's 7 months pregnant. We finally figured out where she was in her pregnancy. Like, we've been asking that question for weeks on end now, going, how far along is Zoe? At one time, she looked more pregnant than Wanda before Wanda delivered, but now we know she's 7 months pregnant, and she is milking that 7-month pregnancy to the hilt. She got the baby gift, she got out of working in the farm, and I'm sure she's gonna continue to use it to her benefit until she gives birth. And then after she has the baby, she's gonna continue to use it too. But I'm feeling for Zoe for the fact that she wants something to give to her child. I was so hoping that Crazy Earl would have some type of heirloom to give to Wade. I wanted maybe, I don't know, maybe the first beer Wade drank, or possibly remnants of the first t-shirt he tore off, or his first tank top or something. I just so wanted Crazy Earl to have something to show of Wade when he was a kid, but lo and behold, we didn't have it, or there wasn't anything out there like the rocking chair that Wanda had, which I thought was really special and something great that you can pass down. So when Zoe's feeling this, and Wade is trying his best to find something, Operation Heirloom will not die. I will figure this out. That again shows his dedication to her, but you can't create something that's not there. But he tried high and low. So even though I know Zoe and Lemon have this frenemy relationship, I get it. Probably, in my opinion, the sweetest moment of this entire season, and maybe even the entire show. I'll have to think about it, but I know for this season, the best moment was when Lemon gave her that duck that her father had carved for her. And I love when she said, I just don't want it cluttering my apartment, because that shows the kind of relationship they have. The relationship of, I really care for you and love you, but I don't want you to know it, and I don't want you to get comfortable with it, and I don't want you to get caught up in it. So here, just take it. You're doing me a favor. It means nothing to me. I know it could possibly mean something to you, but we know it's all a front, Lemon. I mean, come on. You guys were really concerned about each other, being Zoe and Lemon, when you thought that in Stanley Mobile Spa, hello, Stanley has a mobile spa. I know everyone's saying, we know Cricket has come out of the closet and she's a lesbian, but we still have questions about Stanley. If he's not gay, that's fine. Totally get it. But let's all agree, he is the most metrosexual person that we have ever seen in Bluebell and maybe other places also. Love the mobile spa. Stanley, sorry, got turned over after only 2 customers. But you could tell that Zoe and Lemon were concerned about each other when the mobile spa turned over. So there's love for each other there. They just don't want each other to know it. They don't want to share the regular type of girlfriend type of relationship. But we'll see what happens. I really think that Lemon's going to turn a corner when Zoe has the baby. And I think that's going to make all the difference. And it may come down to, Zoe actually, if something happens between she and Wade, she actually turning to Lemon, which is going to be really surprising. But I think now that Lemon has Scarlett in her life, there's even more of this maternal side coming out. Like, we all know that Lemon has taken care of Magnolia her entire life, but now there's Scarlet. And I think that's even becoming a bigger part of her. So she has this huge maternal heart, and I think that's going to kick in, and she's going to possibly help Zoe when Zoe has the baby. So we'll wait and see. But I think their relationship is going to stay the same. I think that's about as good as it's going to get. You let me know if you agree with me, if you think their relationship is going to change. I mean, they started this episode at each other's throats, and by the end of the episode, they were both sitting down together as this united front, trying to convince Wade and Lavon that they had made up, because Lavon and Wade were like, you two work it out, which was one of my favorite scenes of this episode, to see that Lavon and Wade could sit the two of them down and say, look, this is how it's going to be. They're not going anywhere. Saying to Lemon, Zoe's not going anywhere. Lemon, saying to Zoe, Lemon's not going anywhere, and saying to Lemon, Zoe's not going anywhere. You two have to figure it out. I love the fact that the two of them took charge, because they just want peace, and they want the four of them to get along, and they want to be able to have breakfast at Lavon's. I know I want free breakfast every morning, so I would want my partner to do whatever he needed to do too, to get it together too. So they've worked that out. And so the last couple I want to talk about is Zoe and Wade. And they were searching for this heirloom, but I want to bring up something even bigger in my mind. The last episode of the after show, we were saying here that we just want Zoe and Wade to, not be a part of any drama whatsoever for the rest of this season. We have 2 episodes left. We don't want them to be a part of any type of drama for the rest of the season. But I have to say, there's just been too many recurring conversations. Zoe in this episode was saying, I don't have any family heirlooms. She was saying last episode when Scarlet met Lemon, I don't have that past. And ever since she's realized that she was pregnant, she and Wade have gone back and forth talking about kind of the shortcomings of their growing up, and the fact that neither one of them have really reliable fathers, even though Crazy Earl is completely different now. And I'm hearing this as a recurring theme. And my concern is, I think Zoe may have to make a big decision about staying in Bluebell, or maybe going back to New York to be close to her mom. I mean, when she ran away, when she needed to confront Wade earlier in the season, she went to her mom's in New York. Do they have the greatest relationship? No, but home is home, and your mom is your mom, and sometimes you just need your mom. I know my mom would love to hear that, and I do believe it's true. Sometimes you just need your mom. And in situations like this, it just may be a lot for her to handle, or for a short period of time, she just might want to be around her mother in New York. And I do have a sense and feeling that we're going to get one more rift between Zoe and Wade before the season is over. And I think it's going to be this kind of big thing of, do we stay or do we go? And it's difficult to raise a kid, I think, in New York. I mean, I lived in New York for several years, and it's definitely different than Alabama, but sometimes your heart just wants to go where the family is. And so I think they're going to have, either Zoe's going to need to decide about whether she's going to stay or she's going to go, or whether the two of them are going to go. But it's going to be something else between the two of them. Let me know how you feel about it, because there's been this question, and they've just had this conversation over and over again about family and need and where they are and what they're lacking in Bluebell. And I think the two of them are going to try to search and find it. I just hope that their search is together, not apart. We will see. And we want to say, we're so sorry to Brick that everyone forgot his birthday, but his girls, prepared everything. They hit the phone tree in Bluebell, and everybody knew it was Brick's birthday. They put together a fantastic birthday celebration. But the biggest thing that came out of the Brick storyline to me was, how could he not know about Lemon and Lavon? I found that to be so interesting that Brick, your daughter, I mean, we probably know more as the viewing audience about Lemon and Lavon than it seems Brick does. And when Brick said, I don't want to know, I screamed and said, but I do. I want to know all the background that happened between the two of them. So my fear is, I know Whitney's been asking for it. We've all been asking for it. I don't know if we're going to get it in the next 2 episodes before the season is over. So we may be left with, without that. But I hope that we find out a little bit more. But to recap, I will say, I'm on with Team LL. I'm all in their corner. Team George and Annabeth, I don't know about that yet. I'm not feeling it. And I'll pose another question. We always talk about the end of the Heart of Dixie season with the wedding. What about Shelby and Brick getting married? They seem to be cozy at home. I mean, Shelby's, redecorating the house. They seem to be really, really close, in love. They don't seem to be going anywhere, having no rifts and no problems. I throw that out there to you too. Maybe it will be Shelby and Brick walking down the aisle. I don't know. I think we covered everything, but I have a little bit of news for you.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So the news that I have for you is AFTERBUZZ Hart of Dixie after show news. I've been told by a very reliable source, that being Whitney herself, that someone, or maybe someones from Bluebell will be here with us gracing our couch before the season is over. Now, I don't know if that's going to be one person, two, or possibly three, so you have to watch in order to find out who will be gracing our AfterBuzz couches right here on the AfterBuzz After Show. And I've been doing tons and tons of research trying to figure out if there's been a final decision about the Hart of Dixie renewal for season 5. So I say let's forget about that. Let's forget about whether Hart of Dixie is going to come back, and let's talk about what we have in these 4 seasons. So in celebration of the season almost ending, I'd ask that you either leave a comment on YouTube or actually even tweet me at TJ Wagging Her Tail and let me know your favorite Bluebell moment of the past 4 seasons. And I'll collect them, read through them, and maybe I'll even read some of them in our last 2 AfterBuzz after shows. But I want to know how much you love Bluebell, and I'll think about it and share my favorite moment also. And let's do a couple predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Well, what do I see for the last two episodes? I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think George is leaving. I am curious to see what's going to happen with Cricket and Jacine. I think that might be a wedding. That might actually be a bigger relationship. And I don't see Annabeth leaving with George. And I do see Wade and Zoe making a really big decision about whether they're going to stay or whether they're going to leave. And I don't know. I mean, they are wrapping up everything in such a great grand bow in this season. If they do get renewed for season 5, it could be a brand new show. I'm not even sure. So let me know what your predictions are, what your questions are for the last 2 episodes. And I thank you for being here with me and listening to me talk for 22 minutes. I'd love to hear from you on YouTube or on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at TJ Wagging Her Tail. That's 2 G's, not 3. And if you're curious where I got the name, just let me know. I'll be happy to tell you the story. And until next week, I'm Tara Johnson. I'll be back. And then Whitney and Lauren will be back next week too. They hated to miss this week, but I hope you enjoyed our time together. Until next week. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.